Well, good morning, or afternoon, or evening, or whenever it is that you're watching this. This is Pastor Greg here, Faith Lutheran Church, Harvey, North Dakota, coming to you with my midweek message and short devotion. I want to thank you, first of all, for taking a minute and spending some time with me today. It's always a blessing for me to know that some of you do watch this and some of you respond to it. So I'm grateful for that. I just want to thank you for joining me, and also just to thank you for being here at Faith and or whatever your faith community might be as you move on in your life today. So what's happening? Oh, gosh darn, it's cold, right? Excuse me. Um, it's a beautiful day this morning. The wind isn't blowing too much. There is a little bit of a wind, but it is in the 20-ish below range, so that it's pretty bitter cold out there. I was out putting some salt on the ice on the sidewalks of the church, and even though it's this beautiful sunshine out there, it just reminds you to dress properly, dress warm, and really do, with all the ice around, especially the ice around the church, the ice around town, just be real cautious about as you move through and come into the building and so forth. We continue with our Wednesday evening Bible study this evening, our Bible school this evening. So join us if you'd like to do that. If you would, again, I think the missing piece to our Wednesday evening Bible school is really an adult group. And what would be wonderful is if we could get somebody to step up and take that group and begin a Bible study. You don't have to be a biblical scholar to do this. We can provide information, lesson plans, Bible studies, whatever that you would need to take that step and take a look at the Word and discuss it amongst others. I think it's real rewarding to do that. So that's that. And again, I just want to stress the ice. Literally, our sidewalks are just sheets of ice, and again, at this temperature, the salt doesn't work really well, or the whatever is all in that concoction I put out there, and it's just hard to keep up with it. So do be careful. I did say leadership did not meet last night. I think I did anyway. If not, I'm sorry if I'm duplicating this. They will meet next Tuesday. Hopefully next Tuesday the temperature will be a little warmer and it won't be so gross out. So, all right. So that's kind of what's going on at the church. Worship on 10:30 on Sunday mornings. Do join me at 9:15. We don't really get started till 9:30. I have it set to start at 9:15 so that we can get done early enough that we can still prepare for worship and get our minds in the right realm of things. But our Sunday morning text study just takes a quick look at the texts for the morning, and we discuss them in a little bit more detail. I have a little more in-depth thoughts. I try to steer away from what I'm preaching on, although that doesn't always happen, so that you can maybe have a deeper understanding when the message is given on Sunday morning. So do join us. The coffee's available, and sometimes we have treats, sometimes we don't. If you want to provide treats, you could certainly do that. We would be happy to have them. So that's that. I'm thinking there's skiing coming up, and you know what? I didn't put on my notes. I didn't put the dates, although it's tubing really more than skiing. For the young kids, are going to go. Oh, I think it's the 12th. Oh, next to or the 19th. Is it in here? I'll have to double check. Don't quote me on those. So it's coming up. If you want to go, let someone from Faith Builders know, or let the office know, or let me know. One of the two, one of the three, whichever. Join in that. It's paid for through the fundraising that the youth do, and so there's no cost. You need to bring your own spending money for lunch and that kind of thing. So do bring that. And if that's a trouble, if that's going to keep you from going, then just let me know, and we'll take care of it for you. We have ways to do that. So do join in on that. Also, I'm pretty sure they'll be looking for drivers. So if you can drive on that day, then great. That would be wonderful to help that passage. So they're going up to Bottineau, so it's a leave in the morning, come back in the afternoon kind of thing. So, and I think they tube for about 2 hours. Sounds like fun. I don't think I'm going to be here, but I guess I should mention something about that. Of course, my 5th grandchild is on the way, or will be on the way, coming up here. In about, let's see, what's it, the 2nd today? Yeah, about 2 weeks. And so when that happens, I'm going to take off with Judy. Judy and I are going to go down to Iowa, check out the little baby and make sure it's got all its toes, fingers, and all those things that we have to do as grandparents, and make sure that it's ultra cute. And so that's kind of what we're going to do. So that's that. So just be aware that one week I might be gone. Certainly you can call Pastor Kevin if there's problems or concerns. And I believe he'll be filling in for me unless something other comes up. So there we go. That's what I'm going to say about that. If you want to join with me in this little short devotion, I'm looking at the Luke text for Sunday, Luke 5, 1 through 11. And of course, this is Luke's rendition of the calling of the disciples. Not that they conflict, just there's more detail or less detail in any given one. So that's why I say it's Luke's rendition of the calling. And Jesus is speaking to people. They're getting to be too many people on the shore. He's getting pushed and prodded, and Luke 5, 1 through 11. Did I say that? I tell you, my mind's going blank here. Anyway, you can read that. And anyway, the crowd is pressing in on him. He's finding it difficult to speak, so he takes one of the boats with Simon and pushes out a little way from the shore so that he can preach from the boat. And he preaches from the boat, and he's preaching away, and he gets done, and he tells Simon Peter to put out in the deep and let your nets down. Let's go fishing, he says. I'm done teaching. Let's go fishing. So they go, but first Simon says to Jesus, "But Jesus, we fished all night and we caught nothing. There's nothing to be caught." And you need to realize that, or remember that these are seasoned fishermen. These aren't like your plain old fishermen. So they have a good idea, at least, where the fish should be, and then they would shift to their various places as they fish, just like commercial fishermen do today. They of course they have higher technology today, but they still kind of know where things should be, and so they at least have a best guess. And the fishermen they had given up. There was no best guess that night. They just couldn't find the fish. But Jesus says, "Let's go fishing." So Simon says, "But at your word," this is in verse 5, "but at your word I will let down the nets." In other words, because you told me, I'll go fishing again. And of course, there's this whole scene of them catching so much fish that they need the other boats to come and help them collect all the fish. And they're so full that they're almost sinking. And so yesterday when I was contemplating this text, I thought about the net a little bit, about throwing the net out. We're always afraid to throw the net out. Jesus tells us to make disciples. And so that's a way of thinking about it, is throwing your net out to make disciples. But it's not that easy, is it? Because sometimes we throw the net, and we throw the net, and we throw the net, and we never catch anything. Or do we? That's something to keep in the back of your mind, is when that net gets thrown out, and if you just miss, that fish or that person that you're fishing for has caught a little glimpse of what that is. Maybe they ran away from it. Maybe they stayed away from it. Maybe they got caught up in it. Maybe they accidentally got caught up in it. It's all kinds of things when you start thinking about the net and how we catch things. But more importantly, what is the net? Of course, we know what a net is, I think. A net is a woven, braided rope or string or whatever that's catches something. We catch butterflies. We have butterfly nets. We have I think I was doing a crossword puzzle earlier this morning, and even police have drag nets. Where they cross the way and they go get so the net and so I want you to think about the net this week, and what the net is. Go back to the beginnings of discipleship. I've talked quite extensively about what the first step is in discipleship. It's relationship building. It might be a cool cup of water. It might be a hug. It might be a listening ear. Those are nets, and those nets aren't so divisive as pouncing on somebody with a strong statement of repent. You have to build a little bit of a relationship before you can even begin to think that process. So your net is your relationship, and building your relationship will catch people. Now, your net might not catch them, but your net might intrigue them, and somebody else's net might catch them. But the important thing to remember in all of this is that it's the Lord doing the work. It's the Spirit doing the work. That's who's catching the people. It's not us. Our net is just the Word. We're sharing the Word in a visual form, in a verbal form, in whatever way that is. And so when that Word is thrown out there, we just don't know how it's going to catch something, if it's going to catch something. And sometimes something will even get out of the net, will flop out of the net. And we just have to move on. We can't dwell in that, because that's not our responsibility. So that's what I'm going to say about that. That's kind of where I am with it. I don't know if my message is going to go that way this week, although I feel pretty strong about that. And so that's where we are. So I'm going to just stop there. So prayers this week, do take time to pray for one person. Do that. And then just with it being so cold and with roads still kind of messy out there, just pray for people as they move about. Keep them safe. Keep them in their warm cars, in their warm houses. Do check on your neighbor to make sure they are warm and that they are in their house and that they have everything they need as well. So blessings to you this day. Grace, peace, and those blessings from God our Savior, Jesus Christ. And do take care on this cold, cold day.